From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
we revisit the Entrepreneurship program at Warren Central's Walker Career Center. We visit a tech startup with a solution-based idea to help with diversity challenges for small business suppliers. Plus, we meet one of the partners of a business venture that has developed an innovative way to help with the diverse supplier chain.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Time to see more of the important work from the Entrepreneurship program at Warren Central's Walker Career Center. Met the inaugural class for the first time late last year. This week, we return to check on the progress of the students as they learn to access capital, facing potential investors at the upcoming Future Entrepreneurs Pitch Competition.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to capital.
So when we first spoke, the kids were still doing their brainstorming and trying to find an idea, not necessarily reinvent the wheel, but make an idea better. And so now that we are in second semester, they are working on planning, making sure that their presentation is well written, and making sure that they have prototypes. Definitely things that I'll be tweaking next year, making sure that we start the process a little bit sooner. We spent a lot of time brainstorming, and the reason we did that is a lot of kids don't know what they want to do. And that's fair, because especially being a teenager, nobody knows where they want to be in 10, 15 years. So I think if we could shorten that and maybe do more brainstorming activities and get the ball rolling sooner will definitely help. We've had anywhere from NFL players, we've had people with P30 come in, we've had people invite us to after school programs. So it's definitely gotten the word out there and people are dying to get in. So we're hoping that we have a couple of our groups go and present in front of investors. It is open to the public, but we're trying not to make it such of a huge deal because we do have our sophomores who aren't quite there yet, and we don't want people wasting their time, but it is going to be an opportunity where they can get some seed money or even just have a partnership or a mentorship with the investor. So it's definitely going to be a big deal. So only a few of them did the actual statewide competition. So some of them haven't even been on stage yet. So we only have 6 groups that have gone. So the rest of my groups are just nervous about being in front of those big time people. So we've been working on presenting in front of different classes, getting their prototypes and their pitch nailed down. I just hope that they leave this class with something that they're proud of. Not necessarily getting an offer from an investor, but maybe like a partnership or a mentorship where they can lean on somebody to get more feedback, and then they're proud of the opportunities that they got. I'm super excited. The ideas that they've come up with is really great, and I think some of them can actually get that offer from an investor. They just have to be willing to keep pushing and get to that elite status and not the high school status.
I didn't really know what to expect going into it. It was more just a whole new experience and just something fun to do, like the whole process of coming up with this and adding on to it. It's really made me more comfortable with just pursuing whatever I want to do. I'm just looking to walk away with something like something that can stay in my mind and push me forward to the next level.
It means a lot, coming from a home where you're just used to minimum wage and working for somebody is different to step in the field to where you can set something up for yourself. The most important takeaway I took from this is connections. It means a lot. It means a lot. Just staying focused on something, keeping me busy, keeping my partner busy. We're working to change something in the world, actually, it feels good.
Even as a kid, I wanted to be my own boss, my own entrepreneur. And, when Miss Bryant gave me the opportunity my sophomore year, she asked me, did I want to, be in this class? And I was like, yeah, this is definitely something I want to do. And, it just really sparked a big interest of mine. And I'm super excited that I would be able to, be here. I've learned a lot of skills, just in general, to be, confident in yourself. And then I've learned how to make my own decisions as a boss. She's taught me how to do multiple things, such as, make my own pitch deck, make my own business cards, make my own logo and everything like that. She's gave me every tool that, I've needed to create my own business. I'm just gonna have to capitalize on it. I really, I'm gonna just keep going, regardless if I win, lose, I'm gonna take criticism, I'm gonna take every point that they give me, and I'm gonna, go into next year and, during the summer, do whatever I need to do in order to make sure I'm on top.
Neil Ekior is the founder of BE&O Power and a Wish TV News contributor. He stopped by this week to talk about supplier diversity and how it can create a fair, competitive, and equitable business environment.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
So in the state of Indiana, we know this. There are huge opportunities in supplier diversity. Indianapolis has really done a phenomenal job of making supplier diversity local, meaning the formation of business equity for Indy, where a lot of our big companies here in the city said, you know what, we want to give black and brown businesses more access, more opportunities to get contracts with us. We're one of the few cities that have done that, where we made supplier diversity a local, city-focused issue. Right? How do we solve that problem? How do we give more access? Then we have the city itself, who has the Office of Minority Women in Business Development, who works to make sure that minority businesses are having access to contractual opportunities. So they do that as a city, and they have goals around that they have to meet. Then you have Business Equity for Indy, that's doing that with companies coming together to do that. So we are really positioned in a unique situation in Indianapolis to really maximize this opportunity. But what we haven't done, and there's no blaming to anybody, because when we formed Business Equity for Indy, it was during a time, during George Floyd, COVID, there was a huge need, and people wanted to come together and do something. The next step for that is the bold goals around what we're doing. What are our goals for 5 years out? Where do we want to be? How do we measure the number of businesses that are certified? How do we prepare businesses for certification? How do we measure bids? How many businesses bidded for contracts this year? How many actually won? How many didn't win? How do we take the ones that didn't win and prepare them so the next time around? So we need to get a lot more granular around how we do this. And confident a lot of people are looking at this, a lot of people understand that that's the next step. So those are the opportunities we have as a city is, what are our goals? What are the metrics that we're going to measure to make sure we're winning? How do we make sure that the businesses have the capital required, right? So give you an example. I'm a business, I get a contract with Cummins. And Cummins says, hey, it's net 60. You get paid in 60 days. The small business owner says, wow, I got to staff up, I got to get equipment. Ooh, how do I carry this for 60 days? I need some assistance. Well, because I'm a small business, I may not have the history. I can't walk into a bank and get the loan to do this. So we need alternate sources of credit, of loans or financing for this business, capital. So today the city has BOI. BOI has a couple $100,000 in place to support this. But we need way more than a couple $100,000. So those kind of things that we can improve on as a city to make sure that our businesses are getting the capital support to go execute and also to compete for contracts too, right? So those are the opportunities that we have, but really what Indianapolis has done in the last 4 years compared to a lot of cities around the country, we are way ahead from other cities. And we have a long ways to go, but we're doing so much better than what other cities have done. So the one thing that we should let businesses know is when you go to bid for a contract, you're competing for that contract. Nobody's obligated just to give you a contract because you have a business. You're actually competing with other businesses to get that contract. So how do we prepare you to compete, right? And that's the key word, is we can prepare you, but we have to prepare you to go compete for this contract. And then how do we put you in a better situation so you can win the contract? So that's one thing. The other thing is, how do I know what's out there? How do I know what contracts exist? Today, businesses have to go to so many different platforms to try and find where the contracts are. To have one location, a one-stop shop where you could go see, here are the contracts available, and the big companies can also look and see that here are the minority businesses that are certified that I can tap into. That is a game changer for Indianapolis. To have a platform to go to where that exists, where I can see, here are all the contracts that are out there, here's what fits me, here's the process, and then the companies can go into a platform to say, we're looking for minority businesses, here are all the businesses that we can tap into, because we hear this quite a bit. The businesses say, well, we're looking for minority businesses and we can't find them. Well, the company is not obligated to really go out and search. They're giving out the contract. So if they had a place to just go see that, game changer. So the next couple of years will look like this. We have goals. The city has goals, but those goals are set by the city. As a community, we need to come out and set goals to say, here's where we want to be. We need to have this percentage of contracts going to minority businesses, not because we're saying give it to minority businesses, because they're going to be ready to compete and execute this contract. Here's where we want to be. We want to have this much capital infused into the ecosystem of supplier diversity to support these businesses so when they get this contract, they can execute it. What are those numbers? How much capital do we need? How are we going to get that capital? We have a goal for that. We're going to measure this in real time to make sure we actually win it. What are those metrics that we're going to measure? Are we going to measure number of businesses certified, number of businesses that bidded for a contract, number of businesses that actually won a contract? All of those numbers we measure to see, are we winning, are we moving the needle? That way we can adjust in real time and not wait 5 years to adjust. So those are the kind of things, because supply diversity in our city is a big, big opportunity for minority businesses. And when we say minority, that's under the umbrella of minority. Women, African American, Latino, gay and lesbian, everybody. Huge opportunities for our community. So how do we make sure these opportunities are being maximized? And we're doing some good things, like we said, but we can get a lot more granular about what we're doing and deliberate.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Time to focus on an industry. Leslie Crane is a supplier of diversity technology. Her new company, DiversiFind, is an innovative application that solves the problem of connecting diverse suppliers with the companies that want to partner and expand their supply chain.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
My name is Leslie Crane, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of a company called DiversiFind. DiversiFind is a platform, it's an online platform that allows diverse-owned companies to market themselves to other companies that are looking to diversify their spend. And when we say diverse companies, we mean really any traditionally underrepresented group. So think women, minorities, veterans, LGBTQIA+. They're all included in that category. At the time, I was doing consulting with diverse groups and companies who wanted to do business with diverse groups. And what we quickly found out was that while there's definitely a market for consulting in this space, a lot of diverse-owned companies don't have the budget to hire someone to help them market themselves, or they don't know where to find opportunities to do business with larger companies. And my business partner and I thought to ourselves, there has to be a better way, a more efficient way, and a way to bring technology to the forefront to find an economy of scale, to find those opportunities, to allow these diverse companies to market themselves. And so sort of DiversiFind was born out of that lived experience. Before my time as an entrepreneur, I spent some time in private legal practice and then time in government. My last post in government was at the Indiana Department of Administration, where one of my responsibilities was to help certify and do contract compliance and business outreach through the team there, the Division of Supplier Diversity team. And so through that experience, I really got a passion for working with diverse, largely small business. And I think once you have that experience and you see those diverse companies grind it out every single day, trying to grow, trying to figure things out, looking for business opportunities for themselves, you can't help but want to figure out a better way, a clearer way forward, and you want to try to help them solve the problems that they're having. And then once my business partner and I kind of went out on our own and saw those problems on our own, because we're a women-owned business, right? We're certified. And we'd seen it from the government side, we'd seen it from the small business side, we'd seen it from our own perspective. I think we felt like we were uniquely qualified to figure this out from a different angle, right? So we'd done it from a consulting perspective, and now we're tackling it from a technology angle. I think if we're seeing trends, we're seeing more trends not on the actual side of the small, diverse business. We're seeing more trends in the needs of the partners. So we're seeing functions that they want to add to the platform. So different sets of specific codes, for example, related to construction, the ability to have a calendar that allows different businesses to upload all of their outreach events so they don't schedule over each other. So we spend a lot of time interviewing clients, potential clients, things in the particular areas that we're working in right now to say, what are your needs? Where are your pain points? How can we address them and sort of wrestle those buffaloes to the ground so that we can tackle the next thing? Because we know if we get those things out of the way, that's more runway for the diverse businesses. So we're trying to, identify those issues and knock them out. And we spend a lot of time sort of doing those interviews so that we can make what we've built as meaningful as it can possibly be. That's one of our sort of next iterations, is how can we collect that data? We collect it behind the scenes now, sort of in the way LinkedIn does, but we are down the road looking to collect those more human-facing stories. My company found this opportunity. How can we collect those stories? Because those are very meaningful to us. I would say more for us, what has been meaningful is how can we build what we're building to be more meaningful and more user-friendly. That's more what we're looking for at this moment. Really, our ideal thing would be put ourselves out of business, right? So nobody needs, because we've erased inequity. Putting that aside, we really want to be the one-stop supplier diversity shop. So we're looking to build out, we've already got the ability for folks to look for diverse suppliers, which is awesome. We have over 5,000 diverse suppliers in our platform. So if you're looking for somebody, you can find them. In addition to that, we host solicitation opportunities, anything we can find. So if you're looking for an opportunity to collaborate with a corporate partner, we host those inside our platform, which is huge because it really streamlines the process of, what are some business opportunities for my company. That exists right now. But down the road, we're trying to harness AI. How can we figure out the best way to match opportunities, to be predictive in, what's coming down the pike? We are going to build a certification backbone so that our certification platform is as seamless and easy so you can do it all in one place. Store your documents, make that as intuitive as possible, because right now one barrier we find regularly is, my certification is expired or it's really close and I can't get this business. So I would say making what we have built as easy and as one stop as possible for both sides of the supplier diversity equation. Our team talks a lot to folks, diverse suppliers, corporate partners, everybody in between, about what we've built or what we're considering building. And along the way, not a single person has ever said to us, why are you doing that? So it is very validating to us to have had an idea, planted it, watered it, watching it grow, and to have nobody ever say, I don't understand. But I'm sure you talk to lots of folks who have had an idea and have started. it's very much that notion of taking a step without seeing the next one. It's a little nerve-wracking, but no one has ever started a business and thought, I've got it, totally, no problem. So it's all the things, all at the same time.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.